Can we choose love even when we're being attacked? Can we see that everything is a reflection even when that reflection is hurting us? Can we stay awake in this cosmic video game even when the ego wants to lash out? There's no out there. Everyone is you pushed out. The world is a mirror reflecting back to you, all of you, as within, so without. I've been getting a reflection in my video game right now that even though it's uncomfortable, is helping me grow because it's a reflection back to me. And so I'll share this with you in this video in hopes to help you stay awake in the video game when unpleasant reflections show up for you. So let me paint you a picture. Years ago, I had another YouTube channel. It was a baking channel, and that was all prior to my spiritual awakening. In that channel, I was trying to be perfect with the recipes. I was trying to be perfect with everything. Why? Because I was afraid. I was insecure. I was so fearful of criticism. I was so fearful of being attacked in the comment section. So afraid. And so I was trying to please everyone. And now I know how impossible that is. It's crazy. You can never please everyone. And when you're trying to please everyone, then who are you being? Are you being your authentic self? I, for one, know I was not. And I was not having a ball. And I engaged in the comment sections. I thought that I had to respond to everybody because they were giving me love for the most part. And so I thought, I must respond back. And so I would engage and be in the depths of the comments, feeling all of that energy that I didn't know was energy back then because I didn't understand anything about energy dynamics at the time. And so I would feel exhausted, and that interfered with how I created the content. No wonder I quit that channel. And so I remember once there was this woman that started commenting, and empathic me was like, let's respond, let's give her some love too. But even though I didn't understand about energy at the time, I felt something was off about her. She was a little bossy. She was a little edgy. And then one day, she completely turned on me. She wrote this huge comment criticizing my method for making a chocolate mousse and even my apple pie. And she was telling me what to do in a very angry manner. I was so triggered. You know what I did? I responded back. I fought back. I wrote this huge comment saying how I knew she had been a hater all along and that was my channel. And I don't remember what else I said, but I was very angry as well. I was triggered. I was hurting. And so I wanted to hurt her back. That's what I did. I sent the comment. I felt horrible afterwards. And that was that. And every comment, negative comment I got would hurt me. And I would even take that to therapy sessions. Did they help me, the sessions of therapy? Not at all. I'm just so grateful for spirituality. And so with this channel today, I go about things very differently. For one, I am not trying to please everyone. And if I am trying to please everyone, then what am I doing here, right? I am here to speak my truth. And I can only speak my truth and reach the people that resonate with my message if I am authentic and if I speak my truth unapologetically, if that makes sense. And so because I have this experience of how interacting in the comment sections interferes with how I make my content, I don't do that anymore. So I have rules. I do not check my stats all the time anymore. I don't scroll through comment sections seeking validation anymore because I am here to create content. I'm here to talk to you and to share my message. I get to be a neutral vessel for divinity in order for me to communicate and convey my message. And it's been a blessing and I love it. And I also now know that everything is a reflection. That woman back there, then with that channel, she was reflecting stuff back to me. I just didn't know that then. And so what's been happening is there is a person here that's been, I don't know if it's a he or a she. I kind of get like a male vibe, so we'll call them John. So John got here, resonated with the message, and started complimenting the videos, the messages. But then I disappointed John. John was not happy with the wordings I was choosing to use. And so I remember seeing that and going, well, that's fine. I am not here to please everyone. God bless you, John. God bless you. I wish you blessings. I love you. But then I began seeing more comments by John in every video almost. I don't know if I have seen all the comments because I don't check the comments all the time, but I've seen a few. And every new comment, it's like criticism towards something that I'm doing, you know? And I'm thinking to myself, interesting, what is the lesson in this? What is this reflecting back to me? How am I critical of myself? How am I critical of other people? And the comments keep coming. And I can't help but think, if the person doesn't resonate with my message, then what are they even doing here, right? Because ultimately we get to follow our bliss. Because we get to focus on what serves us, on what expands us. And so why would someone still be here? But that's more of my ego consciousness talking. And so last night, as I'm preparing to sleep, I get yet another comment. And I'm like, oh my God. And then my ego voice gets a little loud in my head. Because here's the thing. There's a direct correlation between your level of your vibration, your frequency, and the loudness of the ego voice in your head. Direct correlation. The lower your frequency, the louder the ego voice is in your head. Conversely, the higher your vibration, the quieter the ego voice is. And so I see that comment yesterday by accident. If anything is ever an accident, right? And so I'm like, oh my gosh, yet another one. I'm just going to bed. I'm getting into the alpha state, right? I'm very mindful with things that I'm consuming before I go to bed and as soon as I wake up. But I see that yesterday and I'm like, oh my gosh. And then my ego starts talking. My ego wants to respond. And I'm like, no, we have been there. I acknowledge you, ego voice, but we're somewhere else now. And so I've been cleaning on these things. When I see reflections that are low vibe, I always clean and send love. And so again, I'm like, what is this reflecting back to me? And so I'm doing Ho'oponopono, and I'm like, this is an opportunity because we are living the human experience. And as human beings incarnated in the third dimension, it's very hard for us to be 100% free of judgment. And so how am I judging myself? How am I judging other people? I know that I am, even if it's only mentally, even if I'm not like literally writing comments. But you know what? I have done that. A year ago, I was on my spiritual journey already. I was watching a spiritual podcast, and the guest was Mike Dooley, and I love me some Mike Dooley. And as I'm watching, like the host keeps resorting to like third dimensional terms to pull the conversation down. So he's like mentioning woo-woo, airy-fairy, as Mike is like delivering this divine message. And I'm like, why are you speaking about woo-woo? You know, and so I get triggered. Remember, let the triggers be the guides. And so I get triggered and I immediately go down to the comment section and I post this block of text calling him out on using terms like that. And I had been on my path already. That was prior to me starting this channel, but it was after my awakening. And so I send the comment. 5 minutes pass and I'm like, what have I just done? And so I regain awareness. I go ahead and I delete that comment. I'm like, it's not about this. If I'm not resonating with this, then I get to follow my bliss. And so I never really watched that podcast again because I don't resonate with the level of consciousness of the host, but everyone is where they're supposed to be. God bless the host. You know what I mean? So if there's no resonance, just turn your back and wish love and healing and blessings, right? This is the high road. So isn't that interesting? Right? So this lingering frequency that is active in my field of judgment, of criticism. So what is John reflecting back to me? Right? I am not above it. I am living the human experience. So it's brilliant. So today I wake up and obviously this subject is in my mind because I go to bed thinking about it, right? And I just love divine timing and how the universe is really working in divine ways. And so when I wake up, before I go to meditate, I just go and use the bathroom and I usually read my book for like 5-10 minutes. And then I'm reading the book and this is what I get. I'm gonna quote it for you to see how amazing this is. Fear is also alleviated when we are able to feel compassion for the negative entity, and we may find compassion in such circumstances by reminding ourselves that any such entity is itself suffering. In its suffering, it seeks the distraction or relief of attaching itself to another being. Indeed, we might substitute the phrase suffering being for negative entity. And I'm like, oh my gosh, so much truth in this. Such divine timing. Goosebumps all over, okay? And so compassion is such a blessing because the ego will want to fight back. And in doing that, we rob ourselves of growth. Because ultimately, we love each other. And so if we allow ourselves to feel compassion, even if it feels uncomfortable, even if we're being attacked, what part of me is still being judgmental? I know that there is a part of me that still judges, you know, because to be 100% free of judgment means to live in the 5th dimension consciousness. Are we there yet? I know we are striving to get there, but are we there yet? You know what I mean? And so choosing love no matter what is such a blessing. And so I wish healing for me and for John. And so the illusion of the 3D is tricking us at all times, and it's a slippery slope, okay? If I'm not present enough, I might see the trigger or the attack and just slip up. And so the whole point of this video is to help you stay awake in the video game. Because the more you do, the more you remain as who you really are, pure, unconditional love, pure white light. This is who you are, this is who I am, and we love each other, we are one. And so I'm here to remind you, next time when something strange shows up for you and it's triggering and it's uncomfortable, please remember this video. Please remember me because it feels uncomfortable. You're not doing anything wrong. Feeling that discomfort is normal because we're living the human experience. So remember this message right now and sit with it and choose love no matter what, and ask yourself, what is this reflecting back to me? What part of me is still doing this very thing that I feel is being directed towards me? How am I being that? What is the lesson in this? even if you don't get an answer right away, it puts you in a place of neutrality. And so it helps you quiet down the voice of the ego and gradually raise your vibration again. This is the key to walking the path, okay? And so if this message resonates with you, I am sure you're going to love the video. I'm going to link up here so you can go ahead and check it out.